numbers for the astronaut training program?
Dismal. Lost half my personnel in the blip, and half of those remaining have lost their nerve. The world's not the same as you left it. Space is now full of unexpected threats.
Always was. Well, whose protocol is this?
Your mother's. She implemented guidelines in the event vanished personnel ever returned.
My equipment registered an extremely high level of CMBR. That's
Relic radiation dating back to the Big Bang.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my new Wandavision Marvel Fantastic Four Easter eggs video. Some of you spotted a bunch of them during Wandavision Episode 4, so we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the episodes. I'm doing videos for all the WandaVision episodes, all Falcon and Winter Soldier, the Loki episodes, everything that's coming this year. It's going to be crazy. Careful for spoilers if you have not seen WandaVision Episode 4 yet, because we'll be talking about everything that happens during that. There are obviously a lot of other Fantastic Four Easter eggs that have shown up recently in Marvel Phase 4 trailers, in the movies, so I'll talk about those at the end of the video too. But this is mostly just about the stuff that just happened on WandaVision. But big surprise, or maybe it shouldn't be a surprise, because Kevin Feige already confirmed WandaVision was setting up a bunch of Marvel Phase 4 and future movies stuff, including Doctor Strange 2, Spider-Man 3, mutants, and what's happening with the new rebooted version of the X-Men in the MCU. So I guess it shouldn't also be a surprise that they're also using it to set up the new Fantastic Four movie that was just announced a little while ago, being directed by Jon Watts, who's currently directing Spider-Man 3 right now.
And finally, I'm happy to announce a film about one of the truly iconic Marvel families. In fact, Marvel's first family, Fantastic Four. We're working on a feature now, and it will be directed by the director of our recent Spider-Man films, Jon Watts.
That's right, the Spider-Man director is going from the Spider-Man trilogy in the MCU to the Fantastic Four movies, assuming that there will be sequels to that. Hopefully the first movie does as well as we want it to. But like the video that I attached to the beginning of this, the first big Fantastic Four Easter egg scene is when Monica Rambeau is reporting back for duty at the SWORD headquarters on Earth, talking to the current director, Tyler Hayward, asking about their astronaut training program and how she was part of that program before Avengers Infinity War, Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet snap, and then the Hulk's snap in Avengers Endgame, blipping everyone back. So when this scene is happening, it's been 3 weeks since the end of Avengers Endgame, and that's pretty much when the entire WandaVision series takes place. So we're literally right after the events of Avengers Endgame, and Tyler Hayward says that half of the astronauts that they had in training were snapped and just came back or are starting to trickle in, and the other half who didn't get snapped completely lost their nerve and quit the program during the 5-year time jump between Infinity War and Endgame. So that's why he's saying that SWORD pivoted from being more of a S.H.I.E.L.D. version of NASA to being more about sentient weapons, artificial intelligence, and unmanned space missions. The threats from outer space that he mentions is mostly a reference to Thanos in the Infinity Gauntlet, but it's also foreshadowing for the Celestials, which we'll see more of during the Eternals movie, hopefully later this year. Please, Marvel, don't delay your movies anymore. Then you have beings like Galactus when we eventually do get the new Fantastic Four movies. Monica Rambeau then follows up by saying that there are also friends in outer space. That's a reference to people like the Asgardians, Thor, the other side of the Galactus coin, characters like the Silver Surfer who are friends to the Marvel characters. Then they talk about special protocols that they have at SWORD for what to do when their astronauts return, or if they return from being lost in accidents and missions like the snap, or anything else that could possibly go horribly wrong on their missions. Then later when they're monitoring Scarlet Witch's House of M alternate reality, Darcy starts talking about CMBR. They mention it several times during the episode, cosmic microwave background radiation, the same type of cosmic energy that made up the energy of the Big Bang when the universe was first created. So that's a reference to a couple things, including Fantastic Four stuff. On the surface level, it's a reference to Scarlet Witch's reality warping powers from the comics. It's a way of explaining on the show how she's creating and changing things out of nothing. Like how she created her 2 children who are mutants, Billy and Tommy, Wiccan and Speed from the comics, because Vision would normally be incapable of fathering children the old-fashioned way. But the whole concept of cosmic radiation is also how the Fantastic Four got their powers in the comics. They were astronauts on a science mission in space studying cosmic radiation waves when they were hit by one, mutating their DNA, giving them their powers.
My research suggests that exposure to a high-energy cosmic storm, born on solar wind, might have triggered the evolution of early planetary life. In 6 weeks, another cloud with the same elemental profile will pass Earth's orbit. A study conducted in space could fundamentally advance our knowledge about the structure of the human genome, cure countless diseases, extend human life, give kids a chance to live longer, stronger, healthier.
So you have the SWORD Space Agency, which is training astronauts to face threats from cosmic Marvel characters like Galactus, the Celestials. You have Nick Fury's SWORD Space Station that he built with the Skrulls. Then on the other side, you have high levels of cosmic radiation present after Avengers Endgame, and a bunch of missing astronauts that are slowly starting to show up after the movie, and SWORD trying to rebuild their astronaut program looking for new candidates. So most of you probably came to the same conclusion after some of these scenes in Wandavision Episode 4, that the new MCU Fantastic Four will come from SWORD. Like they may have already been part of the SWORD astronaut training program before the events of Avengers Infinity War. Maybe they were snapped and blipped back, and up to this point, the reason why we haven't met or heard about Reed Richards or the others is that before Avengers Endgame, the blip and hopefully a timely accident with cosmic radiation while they're in space, they were just normal astronaut trainees, normal scientists that you wouldn't have thought twice about. Nothing really special about them other than maybe that they were just rank-and-file SWORD agents, like astronaut versions of regular SHIELD agents, no big deal. And their origin in the MCU will be tied to WandaVision and how it sets up mutants in Marvel Phase 4. Even though technically the Fantastic Four aren't mutants, there's something called mutates, which is a little bit different. But all happening through this conceit of Scarlet Witch manipulating cosmic radiation and that just going off the rails. Like Darcy also says, the field that she's generating is contained to Westview, this town, but just for now. Like they think that it might expand eventually. That's the big threat, that eventually it might cover the Earth and start warping reality all over the planet. There are a lot of other Fantastic Four Easter eggs we've seen recently during the Loki trailer, Ant-Man 3, and even during Spider-Man Far From Home. And I mean, the same director is doing the Fantastic Four movies, so no surprise that he'd also tease Fantastic Four stuff during the Spider-Man movies. Even though it seems like they're already doing full-blown Spider-Verse during Spider-Man 3, I wouldn't be surprised if there are also some more Fantastic Four Easter eggs in the background as well. I've already talked about the Easter egg during Spider-Man Far From Home. It's all about the construction sign at the end of the movie. When he swings down, the sign says 1, 2, 3, then the question mark where the 4 should be, all in different colors, and it reads, "We can't wait to show you what comes next." It's a reference to a couple of different things, to Marvel Phase 4 in general, like Kevin Feige is winking behind the camera saying, "We at Marvel can't wait to show you, Marvel Phase 4, what's coming next in terms of the movies and the Disney Plus series." But also the numbers are a reference to the Fantastic Four. The colors correspond to all their different powers, and the reason why the 4 is invisible is because it's referencing the Invisible Woman. The other even more recent Easter eggs in the Loki trailer and Ant-Man 3 are both for the same thing, technically. It's for Kang the Conqueror, whose real name is Nathaniel Richards. He's a distant descendant, many times removed from 1,000 years in the future of Reed Richards. He's going to be played by Jonathan Majors during Ant-Man 3. He's going to be the main villain of that movie, and he'll be teased during the Loki series. He's a time travel villain, and the Time Variance Authority, which we see during the Loki series, is all about clocking time travel villains. They haven't started casting for the Fantastic Four movie yet. They haven't announced any actors, even though John Krasinski has been posting all kinds of teasers like, "Oh, it would be so amazing to do this." But just based on all the announcements so far and what the timeline of the Marvel Phase 4 movies is, they'll probably wind up releasing the new Fantastic Four movie sometime between spring and summer of 2023. We will continue to see more Fantastic Four Easter eggs before then in the Disney Plus series and the upcoming movies, so of course I'll do videos for all those when we start spotting them. But if you have spotted any other big Fantastic Four Easter eggs or references that I didn't mention in this video, just write them below in the comments. In my WandaVision Episode 5 video, we'll post this Friday, and there's going to be some special Spider-Man 3 announcements happening Thursday. Tom Holland is doing something special, so of course I'll do a video for that too. Super Bowl 2021 is also coming up this weekend, so there might be some Marvel Super Bowl trailers for the upcoming Disney Plus series, maybe the movies. I don't know if we're going to be seeing a Shang-Chi trailer or another Black Widow trailer. Hopefully there'll be another Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer. Not really expecting a full-blown Spider-Man 3 trailer, so I wouldn't hold your breath on that, but hopefully there'll be a Venom 2 trailer. Whatever kind of footage they wind up releasing or anything special on the side, even if it's not during the actual Super Bowl, I'll be doing videos for that stuff, so no worries, any big trailer videos. But everyone click here for my brand new WandaVision Episode 5 trailer video, and click here for that brand new Thor 4 Love and Thunder first look. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.